Hey, we're back at it, just like Sisyphus rolling that boulder up that hill. We just keep plugging away. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for Wednesday, the 18th day of December 2019, 1 week from Christmas. 1 week from today is Christmas Day. This whole month has flown by. This whole year has flown by. This whole decade has flown by. We're in for some pretty interesting weather. It's coming later on today, especially tonight into Thursday. There's actually two weather systems. The first one's going to give us snow. The second one's going to give us rain. What we're really worried about is that little area between the snow and the rain where we could get a little bit of freezing rain here in the Wenatchee Valley. We have a winter storm watch that's going on right now for the Wenatchee Valley, and the east slopes of the Cascades are under a winter storm warning, which is a more serious situation. Passes are just going to get so much snow. It's going to be crazy. That starts later on today as well. But the first real snowfall here in the Wenatchee Valley, we've had a little bit there, a little bit here, and a little bit there. We're going to get a little bit everywhere. We can pretty much guarantee you that. That forecast from the National Weather Service is coming up, but it's all going to be gone by the weekend because we'll be warming up into the 40s and we'll be dealing with some rain. So details are coming up. We have quite a bit of news to get to. We got sports, including highlights of girls bowling. Nicely done, Eastmont Wildcats. Nicely done, Wenatchee Panthers. They did their job yesterday. The girls bowling team did at Eastmont Lanes, and now today Wenatchee and Eastmont play each other. We're looking forward to that. Plus, we have the obscure holiday and opinion from Mike McNaughty will be coming your way. A couple of celebrity birthdays to pass along to you. And today in history, busy day, lots going on. It is 27 degrees, clear skies. Ain't gonna last. Let's take it around the valley with our Valley View cameras. And yeah, we can use the cross camera this morning because again, there's just not a lot of cloud cover out there. That's good. We like that. Beautiful view there. By the way, Malcolm pushing the buttons today. Get well soon, Megan. That's, of course, our cross camera. We call it the cross camera because we have to call it each of the cameras, and there's about, 50 of them all over north central Washington, the Wenatchee Valley, out in the Columbia Basin, and points up north. They all have to have a name of some kind or another. Usually it's the geographic area that is most associated with that camera, so we call that the cross camera because it's located adjacent to the cross at the very tip of Wenatchee Heights. And that camera is a 4K camera. Most of ours are just regular high-definition cameras, which are pretty nice to begin with. But that camera there, which is the one we use more than any other camera, is a 4K camera. That means it cost us $4,000. Camera number 2, where are we off to, Malcolm? I don't know. Malcolm gets to decide. Well, that's the Omi Gardens camera, and he's zoomed right in on Rocky Reach Dam. That's cool. Good work there, Malcolm. I like that view. That's really neat. Rocky Reach Dam, one of the newer dams on the Columbia River. And of course, the Discovery Center shut down for about a year and a half. They're going to redo the whole thing. They're going to make it a lot more modern. About the only thing that's still going to be there when they reopen it in about a year and a half, the Visitor Center, the Discovery Center there, is going to be the fish thing. You can still see the fish. They'll be able to do that, which is one of the cool things that the kids love to do, watch the salmon swim by the window. That's still going to be there. Everything else will be changed. So that's from our Omi Gardens camera pointing to the north at Rocky Reach Dam. Camera number 3. Valley High, Malcolm? That is the Valley High camera. As I mentioned this before, if it's not light enough, it automatically switches to black and white. So we can get in as much information, as much light into the frame as possible. And then when it gets light enough, and of course it's still dark, sun doesn't come up for another about 39 minutes or so, then it will switch to color. That's the Valley High camera on your way up to Blue Pass. That reminds me, sunrise this morning, 7:43, sunset tonight, 4:11, 8 hours and 28 minutes of daylight. The winter solstice is on Saturday night, and so Saturday will be the shortest day of the year, and then we'll gradually get longer days starting on December 22nd. But it's the first 3.5 weeks of that is the longer days are longer by just a second or two, so you're going to have to get used to that. Finally, camera number 4. Hello and good morning to cars driving around. Is that, what bridge is that we're looking at? Oh, that's the Senator George Seller Bridge. Wow. That must be the lower cross camera, what we call cross east. Malcolm's telling me, but I don't think he knows either. That's kind of cool, though, whatever it is. Yeah, I wish it was in color, but it isn't. So anyway, that's a beautiful view of people driving around. All of these cameras, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. There we go, back to the cross camera. Thank you, Malcolm. Of course, you know what Sky-Fi means by now. You can get screaming fast internet to your home or your cabin or wherever it is, and you don't need fiber. All you need to be able to do is to see one of our 40 or so, or 40, we have about 70 or even more towers than that, and they're all over north central Washington and out in the Columbia Basin. So we don't have cameras, PTZ cameras on every Sky-Fi tower, but a lot of them, and that is a tremendous tool that we have that we use quite often. And that's a tool, not a toy. It's 6 minutes after the hour. From Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they give your home a hug. We got a lot of weather to talk about. We got a winter storm watch for the Wenatchee Valley. It starts tomorrow afternoon. It goes through Friday. As I mentioned before, this has been a well-advertised winter storm. It's going to move through our area in two parts. The first wave is a weaker wave that moves through the region tonight and goes in, really makes its presence felt Thursday and into Thursday evening, and that's going to usher in the snow. And then the second wave of moisture is a much warmer wave of moisture, as you see there. It'll arrive overnight Thursday into Friday. So we do have, and it starts tomorrow. It's not going on right now, but we have a winter storm watch for Thursday afternoon through Friday for the Wenatchee Valley. Now, the east slopes of the Cascades, and this includes Leavenworth and Plain and the Lake Wenatchee area, you're under a winter storm warning from Thursday afternoon through Friday. There are three different layers, or levels, I should say, that the National Weather Service uses. An advisory, which is we're keeping an eye on things. The next step up the ladder is a watch, a weather watch, and that is things are starting to develop and we think things are going to happen. And then finally, warning, which is it's going to happen. So there's a winter storm watch for the Wenatchee Valley, a winter storm warning for the east slopes of the Cascades. So it's going to start out, again, let me just make this perfectly clear so we have a good timeline going for you today. We do have a slight chance of a little bit of rain, snow late this afternoon, probably after the sun goes down, right around 4 or 5 o'clock. And then a slight chance of snow once the sun goes down. High today of about 31 degrees. We only got about a 30% chance of snow. Tonight, it is probably going to snow. We're pretty confident about that. Likely snow tonight starting about 10 o'clock in the evening till about 4 o'clock in the morning. And it depends. It's all about elevation. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, an inch, maybe 2. In the East Wenatchee Bench, you could get 3 or 4 inches. Payneborn could get 3 or 4 inches. Stuff like that. It's the snow level is going to really start to fluctuate quite a bit. It all depends on where you live. It could be as little as an inch or so on the valley floor and upwards of 3 or 4 inches in the higher elevations around the Wenatchee Valley. Thursday, you're going to wake up to some snow. Then it switches over to freezing rain. We're a little worried about that, and then it will go to rain. The snow level is going to be about 1,400 feet tomorrow for most of the day on Thursday. So again, it all depends about elevation. The lower elevations are going to get some rain, upper elevations snow, and then there'll be pockets of a rain-snow mix. We really don't want to see that. Again, we have a chance of some freezing rain mixed with snow and rain Thursday night into Friday. The snow level is going to go up. This is that second system I was talking about. It's going to start out Thursday night at about 1,400 feet with snow. It's going to go up to 3,900 feet in the overnight hours, so an additional inch or 2 distinctly possible on Thursday night. And then Friday, that second system comes in. That's packing some considerably warm weather and some rain with it. We are going to get rain, perhaps even pretty good dose of rain Friday and right into Friday night. As you can see, Friday night's overnight low is not even near the freezing mark. So get ready for some wet stuff Friday and Friday night. And then Saturday, we got a little bit of rain in the morning. Then it dries out. And then we go right back to clouds. A little bit of light snow possible Saturday night into Sunday. Don't think that's going to happen. So there you go. There's your timeline. 2 systems lined up and ready to pay us a visit. The first one moves into the region tonight, brings us some snow Wednesday night into Thursday, occasionally mixed with freezing rain. And then on Friday, it switches over to just plain rain. So, yeah, there's a lot to talk about, isn't it? And we haven't even talked about the passes. Let's take you up to the Cascades and see what's going on up there. That's a live shot of I-90. By the way, right now is a good time to go because things are going to get nasty. No advisories, no restrictions on I-90. Hop in your car and it's down the road you go. Stevens Pass does have a traction tire advisory. The roadway is mostly bare and wet. In fact, it's almost all bare and wet. There's just a couple of pockets of compact snow and ice in places. There's a traction tire advisory, but Stevens looks pretty good to me. No problems at all on Blewett. No advisories, no restrictions. Now's a good time to go because holy moly, are the passes going to get some snow. We have a slide to show you from the National Weather Service. Yeah, it's going to come down pretty good. Today, not a lot, maybe an inch or 2. Depends really on what pass you're going to take. And then starting Wednesday night and going all the way through Saturday night, it's going to snow. Tonight, new snow accumulations of 3 to 5 inches on the mountain passes. Again, it all depends on elevation. I-90, the lower pass, Snoqualmie Pass, is not going to get as much as, say, Blewett or Stevens. So Wednesday night tonight, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Thursday, 3 to 7 inches of snow. Thursday night, 11 to 17 inches of snow. Friday, 9 to 13 inches of snow. Another 7 to 11 inches of snow possible on Friday night. Snow a little bit anyway on Saturday. Yeah, here it comes. Again, a winter storm warning. That's the most dire of the warnings, is for the Cascades, especially the east slopes of the Cascades. And just like us, it starts tomorrow afternoon, goes through at least Friday. They may extend that for the mountain passes. So yeah, lots going on. Mother Nature is giving us a 1-2 punch, and it starts later on tonight and really into Thursday and Thursday night. The Friday morning commute could get a little crazy. It is 11 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with your Wednesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And this morning we're broadcasting live from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel. I guess we're back. You ready to do the news, Malcolm?
Winter is here, and CVCH wants to give your child a free sled to help them stay active. This January, plan to join us for a free event for the whole family. Free sleds, hot chocolate, and fun. For complete details, visit the CVCH Facebook page or check us out at cvchchillout.com.
Hi, my name is Jim Heinlein, independent agent and owner at Springwater Insurance Group, formerly known as Senior Insurance Services. And we recently decided to make that name change because we're offering so many different other types of insurances in addition to Medicare education and enrollment like we've been doing for 15 years. So if you have questions about Medicare or any other forms of insurances, give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group, 888-2600, or visit us at any of our 5 locations.
And we are back at 13 minutes after the hour. Mostly clear skies, 26 degrees. Pretty quiet weather today. Light snow late this afternoon into the early evening hours. Overnight snowfall of at least a couple of inches for the Wenatchee Valley. You'll wake up tomorrow morning for your Thursday morning commute with a winter wonderland. Everybody will be covered in snow. And then as Thursday progresses, it changes from snow to freezing rain, and then later on, rain into Friday. Be prepared. Here's what's making headlines. A Chelan resident who's in jail for allegedly assaulting a security guard is now accused of punching a corrections officer in the face. 25-year-old Connor Trevino, who's been in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center since November 29th. That's when police say he attacked a guard at Link Transit's Columbia Station downtown. Well, on Friday, Trevino allegedly punched a female corrections officer when she tried to move him into his cell. Wenatchee police said when they interviewed Trevino about the assault, he said, and I'm quoting now, "I just wanted to punch someone and she was right there," end quote. He's already charged, of course, with one count of third-degree assault for punching the bus station incident. He now faces a new charge, obviously, for punching the jail guard. Well, a domestic violence suspect was arrested on Monday afternoon in Moses Lake after a tense 2-hour standoff with police. The Moses Lake Regional Tactical Response Team deployed several flashbang devices into a home in the 4,000 block Paxson Drive before 36-year-old Isai Ramirez Alvarez finally surrendered. This happened about 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon. According to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, he faces numerous charges, including domestic assault, burglary, and obstructing law enforcement. Well, more than a month ago, a Waterville man allegedly threatened a shooting over his wife's sexual encounter with a 15-year-old boy. Now the wife has been charged as well. Andrea Anna Renee Jones, she's 20 years old. She was charged Tuesday with third-degree child rape. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies say she admitted having sex with a teenager in late October. When she admitted it on November 3rd to her husband, 21-year-old Dylan O'Gara Smith, well, police say he picked up a shotgun and walked the streets of Waterville threatening to confront the youth. He's charged with second-degree assault, by the way, harassment and related counts. Both husband and wife remain free from custody. Well, a Wenatchee driver struck a young pedestrian in a crosswalk Monday night near Orchard Middle School. Wenatchee police say a 40-year-old Wenatchee woman ran into the youth about 6:15 at the intersection of Miller and Orchard Streets while the juvenile was crossing at a lighted crosswalk with an activated signal. Now, the boy was taken to Central Washington Hospital, but the extent of his injuries wasn't known as of this morning. The motorist will be cited for driving without a valid driver's license and failing to yield to a pedestrian. Fire crews responded to a report of smoke at the Earthwise pet store in Wenatchee yesterday morning. They found inside the building was covered in water from the sprinkler system. The pet supply and grooming business is at Mission Village on 5th Street. Is currently undergoing a remodel before the new Earthwise Pet opens. Kay McKellar, spokesperson for Chelan County Fire District Number 1, said one person inhaled smoke but didn't require medical aid. The cause of the fire, which was reported at 8:47 yesterday morning, is still under investigation. Finally, this morning, Wenatchee Valley College faces, of course, $1 million budget deficit for the upcoming year. 21 employees have been laid off, the possibility of more in the coming year, but Wenatchee Valley College isn't the only community college experiencing a budget shortfall. College President Jim Richardson says there are at least 2 other institutions experiencing similar problems. He talked about it with the host of In Focus, our special news correspondent, Steve Hare.
Now, you also, besides the Wenatchee Valley College campus here in Wenatchee, you have the OMAC campus. How is it being impacted by the current budget crisis, and what are the long-term plans going forward for that campus?
Yeah, the biggest impact, obviously, are we had 3 layoffs up there of the 20. I think we have 21 layoffs now. Of the 3 of them are up there, and it's a small campus, so students will notice that their support isn't as strong, isn't as immediately available, if you will, to them as they will on the Wenatchee campus. Do we have any plans? No. We have a district that's 10,000 square miles. Okanagan County has to be served, or at least our board, and I see it that we have to serve the people of Okanagan County. We can't do that without the OMAC campus. If we closed that campus, most of the students from there either wouldn't go to school at all, or probably would go somewhere else.
Okay. Is the situation that the Wenatchee Valley College finds itself in, is that isolated to just Wenatchee Valley College, or are there any others within the system of community and technical colleges that are also affected?
Yeah, there are quite a few others, actually. I've heard over the last few years, probably at least 12 of the 34 colleges have been affected with, as far as, going to layoffs. Others I'm sure, are coming. That I've heard about. Right now, the ones that are most recent, Grays Harbor out in Aberdeen is going through, actually about to go through its second round. It worked on it last spring and is looking at it again now because of their enrollment. And Walla Walla Community College in Walla Walla, obviously, is also going through it right now. They have announced a financial emergency. They have done layoffs. They are looking at their next year's budget and what else they need to do too.
We'll have more with Steve Hare's conversation with Dr. Richardson at the evening news tonight. And hey, that's a friendly reminder. During the interview segment of this program, just a few minutes away, Steve had a chance to sit down with 3 members of the local office of the Washington State Department of Transportation as we get into the winter driving season. If you're curious about how they prepare to go out and plow roads and treat roads under their jurisdiction and avalanche control work and all that stuff, it's a conversation you don't want to miss with Steve Hare and In Focus, and that'll be later on this morning on this very program. The news team will be getting back together again today and putting together another newscast so you can be in the loop, and it's something that we're quite proud of and we're quite passionate about it. In fact, to preview the Wednesday evening news, here's our own Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, Seattle rapper and songwriter Macklemore has released the video for his new Christmas song, and it features Wenatchee's Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort. In addition to catching bad guys and otherwise protecting their communities, law enforcement officers in North Central Washington have been showing their Christmas spirit this year. I'll have a look at your wet and snowy North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will let you know about all the day's sports. That and much more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. Hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Nice jacket. He looks good. But I already have insurance, Grant, so don't bother. The news, as Grant just mentioned, at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. And we'd love to hear from you, our viewers. We try to make it as easy as possible for you. You can email us, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. If you want to go to our Facebook page and use the Facebook Messenger, we'd appreciate it. Like us, by the way, while we're there. Or go to ncwlife.com and you'll see the Contact Us icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. If you click on it, a form pops up. You fill out the form, you push send, and we get it. We'd love to hear from you, our viewers. You're an important part of the team. 21 minutes after they are going to take a break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion and Steve Harris' conversation with 3 professionals from the local office of the Washington State Department of Transportation. It's a conversation you don't want to miss. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
We're back at 22 minutes after the hour. Let's talk sports. An early season battle for the Big Nine Girls Bowling League took another interesting step yesterday. Eastmont swept Ike 4-0. And Wenatchee swept Davis. So we now have a 3-way tie for first between the Wildcats, the Panthers, and the Cadets. Let's talk bowling. Eastmont hosting Eisenhower yesterday at Eastmont Lanes. The Cadets came in as the Big Nine leaders, held an 11-pin lead heading into the final frame of the first game, but that's when the Wildcats came through. Colby Hull rolled a 200. Eastmont wins the first one, 867 to 839. Game 2, back and forth, seesaw battle, 182s by both Brittany Hastings and Katie Hines sealed the Eastmont victory, 775 to 718. The Wildcats won the first Baker, 193 to 142. So at that point, they had won the match. The final Baker came down to the 10th. That's when Hines picked up a 1-2-4-10 washout. That tied it at 147. Then she threw a strike, and Eastmont wins 157 to 147. Coach Christy Benging very happy with the way her girls bowled, including a 200 from leadoff bowler Colby Hull.
You know, she's a young bowler. This is her second year, basically, of bowling, and she's learning more and more about bowling, and so she's getting better and better and better. And yes, we really needed that 200 to help us cinch that win on that first game. Yeah, Brittany is going to college. She's a high school student in college, and so she's missed some of our matches earlier on in this year, and so, but she's been to practice regularly, and we just went to Tower Classic over in Tacoma, and I think we came together as a team at that point at Tower because they saw how much you have to work and how much we have to work together as a team to win matches. I think that they know how important this week has been. We talked about it. I said I'll try not to micromanage you too much, but I'm going to be there and I'm going to be saying, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that. And they said, okay, coach. They really like it if I stand off a little bit and I'm not right there telling them their every move to make, but sometimes you have to.
So let's take a look at the totals. Again, this is Eastmont and Eisenhower. Brittany Hastings rolled a 187 and a 182 to lead the way. The Wildcats improved to 5-2 with the victory. Now, just down the alley at Eastmont Lanes, Wenatchee was hosting the Davis Pirates. Jaden Thompson was on fire. In the first game, she collected 9 strikes in a row. She finished with a 246. The Panthers went on for the 844 to 696 win. In game 2, Kyla Hankins just continued her steady ways. She followed up her first game 227 with a 204. She continues to lead the Big Nine in average. Wenatchee won game 2, 745 to 591. Wenatchee won both Bakers as well to earn the 4-0 sweep. So we have a really good match on hand today. Eastmont hosts Wenatchee At 2 o'clock, we hope hear the latest standings. Let's throw those up if you don't mind, Malcolm. There's the scores. There's your latest standings. Take a look at it. Now, yeah, there's still a lot of bowling left after Christmas, but today's match between the Panthers and the Wildcats will play a big hand in which team wins the Big Nine and a chance to host the district tournament. It was a good day at East Mont Lanes yesterday. All right, to the Les Schwab scoreboard, let's talk about prep basketball from last night. Cascade gave Chelan a battle, but the Goats came out on top, 51-44. Afraid of no trouble winning their non-league game against College Place, 61-40. Let's go to boys. The Les Schwab boys basketball scoreboard. Cascade held tough against Chelan in the first half. They trailed at the break 27-24, but the Goats turned on the offense in the third quarter. They outscored the Kodiaks 32-20 in the frame, and they went on for the 80-59 victory. Chelan was led by the 30 points of Connor Wilson. Cole Warnaka paced Cascade in a loss with 25 points. Also last night, Antioch went to Waterville, beat the Shockers 69-45. Let's go to the wrestling mats in Moses Lake. The Chiefs defended their home turf. They beat Eastmont 72-12, but the Eastmont girls had a nice victory, 30-27 over the Chiefs. And that's a look at sports. Just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday. At 26 minutes after the hour, the obscure holiday. It isn't Eat Cookies Day, it's Bake Cookies Day. I would make tomorrow Eat Cookies Day, wouldn't it? I mean, everybody loves cookies. I don't know a single person who doesn't love cookies. Some people really like cookies. C is for cookie, as Cookie Monster once told me. But nothing gets you into the holiday spirit more. Well, holiday Christmas music will do it. The Christmas tree, the decorations, the goodwill, the presents, all that stuff that we associate with Christmas. But walking into a home, and you can tell that they just took a big batch of fresh baked homemade cookies out of the oven is the only way to go. So bake your favorite cookies. Make them homemade. It's the only way to go. Chocolate chip, can't go wrong with that. A warm chocolate chip cookie and a glass of milk. That sounds good. So today is Bake Cookie Day. I wonder what tomorrow is. Eat Cookies Day, I suppose. Bake some cookies. I love cookies. 27 minutes after the hour. Today in history, a couple of items crossed my desk. Happy birthday, New Jersey! New Jersey, the Garden State, is 232 years old today. They became the third state in the Union, ratifying the Constitution on December 18th, 1787. It is the Garden State. That's their nickname. We don't know why. New Jersey does not have a state song. They've thought about it. They've tried it. They've debated it. They voted on it. Never happened. Back in the 1980s, there was a member of the New Jersey State Legislature who sponsored a bill to make Born to Run by native New Jersey legend Bruce Springsteen as the official state song of New Jersey. He didn't think it all the way through. Born to Run is a song about getting the heck out of New Jersey. And by the way, New Jersey, and they get short shrift. People make fun of New Jersey, but New Jersey was the critical state when it came to actually fighting the Revolutionary War. More battles were fought in New Jersey than any other colony, and the victories in both Trenton and Princeton were key battles for the colonials' fight for independence. Happy birthday, New Jersey, 232 years old today. And December 18th, 1988, 31 years ago today, see that? Seahawks captured their first crown. The Seattle Seahawks defeated the Los Angeles Raiders in Los Angeles. The final was 43-37 to win their first ever division championship. They had been to the playoffs before, but always as a wild card. They had never won a division until this date, 31 years ago today. For the record, that division, of course, that team back in '88 was coached by Chuck Knox. The Seahawks won 5 divisional titles under the leadership of Coach Mike Holmgren, including 4 in a row, 04, 05, 06, 07. All of those years, the Seahawks won the NFC West. And so far, under Pete Carroll, they've won 4 in 2010, 2013, 2014, and 2016, and they may actually win one this year. So there you go. The Seahawks win their first ever division crown on this date back in 1988. Finally, at the bottom of the hour, birthdays. Tyrus Raymond Cobb, considered by many one of the greatest hitters of all time. His 366 lifetime batting average of 366 is still the highest of all time. He's one of the 5 original inductees into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Not a particularly pleasant person. When he died in 1961 at the age of 74, only 2 teammates came to pay him his respects, and he played Major League Baseball for 23 years. Not a likable guy, but a heck of a baseball player. I can't believe this. Are you ready for this? Go ahead, throw the next slide up. Keith Richards is alive. at 76. Every year this happens, I lose money to a friend of mine. It's amazing that Keith Richards is still alive. Malcolm has no idea who Keith Richards is. Keith Richards is the lead guitarist of the Rolling Stones and one of the greatest rockers and rollers ever. He's a lovely shade of blue, and he's still alive at 76. Happy 73rd birthday, Steven Spielberg. He is the highest grossing film director in history. So if you want a guaranteed box office smash, you hire Steven Spielberg to direct your movie. Of course, his big breakthrough was Jaws. I love the movie Duel, too, with Dennis Weaver. Great movie. Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the Indiana Jones movies, E.T., Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, Lincoln, The Post, all of those movies. Steven Spielberg, 73 years old today. Life is good. And finally, speaking of Hollywood legends, Brad Pitt is 56 years old today. Thelma and Louise was his breakthrough role. I didn't see him until I saw A River Runs Through It. He was great in that. Legends of the Fall, 7, 12 Monkeys, Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 29, Moneyball, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Happy 56th birthday to Brad Pitt. Getting ready to take a break. We got Mike McNally's opinion coming up, and then Steve's conversation with three important members of the local office of the Washington State Department of Transportation to talk about winter driving and what they do, the good work that they do. But before we get to that, two little parts of shop talk to get to. Campbell's Resort. It continues, the destination deal. It was only supposed to be for the month of November, and it went over so well, they said, to heck with it. Let's just keep going with it. So you know what the deal is by now. All you have to do is be a local. Be from this area, North Central Washington area. Give Campbell's a call. Say, hey, I live here, and I want to pop on up to Chelan, and I want to chill for a couple of days. If you're a local, you can get a room at Campbell's Resort at Lake Chelan, starting at just $95 a night. This is a great time of the year to get up to Chelan and enjoy the beautiful area that is the Chelan Valley and Lake Chelan. And you can do it if you're local, and you can stay at Campbell's for as little as $95 a night. Give them a call. Get it taken care of. Don't know when they're going to let this offer go away. So get it while the getting is good. And finally, of course, the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. We're into the last few days, folks. This is it. Christmas is 1 week from today. So you're doing your shopping and the hustling and the bustling. We're asking you to buy a new unwrapped toy and bring it by to any of our sponsor locations. Those are the six folks, the six nonprofits who are going to distribute the toys. But what we need is toys. And if you don't know what to get, gift cards are fine, or go by Hooked on Toys on North Wenatchee Avenue. They have a tree right inside their front door, and they have a list of all the kids and all the toys that they want. Every kid should have a bunch of new unwrapped toys under the tree 1 week from today. The Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. All right, going to take a break. Mike McNally's opinion is coming up. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales.
From our staff here at Impact Auto Sales, we want to wish you happy holidays. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
Local breweries are on a row in Wenatchee. Brewers Row, that is. Start with Wenatchee Valley Brewing Company near Riverside 9 Apartments. Continue south down Riverside Drive to Columbia Valley Brewing. Then it's off to Badger Mountain Brewing on the corner of Orondo and Columbia Streets. Further south on Columbia is 509 Beer Works. Each has its own charm, unique menu, and some of the best locally made brew around. Find it all on Brewers Row along the waterfront in downtown Wenatchee.
find your holiday gifts at Antique Mall at Cashmere this holiday season. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone, from coin enthusiasts to avid collectors. For do-it-yourselfers, this is the place to find your next repurposing project. What a great way to make your holiday gifts for someone special, using your keen eye to make something old and new again. Discover your next holiday gift in the Antique Mall at Cashmere. Stop on by today.
My awesome is being part of the Nez Perce tribe. We have a tourism company and we highlight the history and culture of the Nez Perce people. I found Washington Trust Bank because they were very involved in the community. They believed in me. They definitely saw the need for this in our region. All the folks at Washington Trust Bank are phenomenal. They've done such a wonderful job helping me along my journey.
What's your awesome? Whatever it is, we'll help you get there.
Exercise gets everybody to be the best version of themselves they can be. And that's what I see us doing. And a lot of people see gyms as selling memberships. We see ourselves as helping our members become exercise practitioners so that their life is better, their day-to-day is better. That's what we do.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, a good pal of mine who was raised in the Catholic Church recently said that he feels that the Roman Catholic Church is little better than a criminal organization which, due to past abuses, and specifically due to the way sexually abusive priests have been protected and their crimes covered up, that organization should be disbanded and eliminated. Well, I see his point and appreciate that he does speak as a member of that particular club, so to speak. There are many people for whom the Catholic Church is still their earthly means of connecting with God. And every church, big or small, has its problems. Now, of course they do. We humans run them. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
They may not be from you, but they're a part of your family. For many reasons, not all children are being raised by their parents. Are you a family member who has stepped in to help raise grandchildren, nieces, or nephews? Whether court-ordered or not, Aging and Adult Care may be able to assist you with many needs. Kinship Care helps keep family and community ties together. Learn more about Kinship Care by contacting Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington, working together for a better quality of life for all.
It's a marvelous markdown at Sangster Buick GMC.
Hi, Corey Sangster, and we're ending the year with a bang. Take advantage of employee pricing on a great selection of new Buick and GMCs. 2019 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew SLT with savings over $11,000. Or this 2019 Buick Encore all-wheel drive up to $7,000 off. Or choose employee pricing. Before you buy, compare price, service, and selection.
December is a marvelous markdown at Sangster Buick GMC or sangstermotors.com.
The Performing Arts Center, the mountain bike trails. When I ride the Loop Trail, we've all been lifted by the giving generosity of our community. I think philanthropy is everywhere.
I'm just overwhelmed with gratefulness.
There is such a legacy of giving in this community.
And that's a direct impact on my quality of life.
And we have the duty to kind of do the same thing for our future generations.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires. Well, more like Les Schwab alignment and brakes and shocks and wheels and tires. Now, some tire places don't offer all that. They only sell tires. And we're not sure how they sleep at night, because all those services affect things like steering and stopping. That's why we offer more than tires to help keep you safe. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Hello and welcome to another edition of In Focus on NCW Life. I'm your host, Steve Hare, and today our focus is on winter driving conditions, and definitely winter has arrived here in north central Washington, and here to tell us more about how we can best adjust to winter travel and Also to learn more about how the DOT maintains our system of roads here in north central Washington. We have Lauren Loebsack, who is the communications director for our district office of the DOT. Rather large geographic area that you maintain as well, Lauren. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Tell us more about, well, first of all, Lauren, you're new in this new position. You took over from Jeff Adamson, as I understand. So tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all.
So I had worked for Chelan County Public Works and Link Transit, so I'm pretty familiar with the area.
And transportation.
Exactly. But coming to the DOT, the North Central region is a lot bigger than just Chelan and Douglas counties. We go all the way to a little scoop of Adams County and all the way to the Canadian border and then partway into Ferry County. So there's plenty to learn.
There's hundreds of miles of roadway that has to be maintained by the DOT in this area. Certainly it's a major challenge for you, not just during the winter, but year-round. I'd like you to introduce our guests because these are the guys that are on the front lines of the road operations here in north central Washington. Lauren?
Absolutely, my pleasure. So this is Paul Weddle. He's the supervisor for the maintenance shed up in Leavenworth. He takes care of Stevens and all that Upper Valley area. And this is Mike Sanford. He is the avalanche supervisor for our region.
Well, right off the bat, guys, I know that today being, the recording of our program is here on December 11th. The North Cascades Highway is closed for the season. It's one of just a few passes that have seasonal closure, I think, isn't it?
Yes, Chinook is the other one, and Cayuse to the south near White Pass are the other two.
It seems to me that it's a little later this year.
It is I think it's the latest that it's ever closed other than the year that it was open year-round, so it is late.
So how does that work up on North Cascades Highway?
So it's a seasonal highway, so it's closed during the wintertime, and the factors that close it are the amount of snow that we've gotten, the avalanche danger, and then if they've gotten snow down in the valley or if they're starting to get winter down valley, so they have a limited number of resources to maintain the road, the mileage that they have up in the Twisp area. So once they have to expel excess maintenance facility or effort up on the pass, then they close. That's part of the factor too. But it's mostly the avalanche danger. It's just too much to maintain and keep open for the winter.
Washington State certainly has its share of avalanche problems, I know, each winter. How would you describe that situation here in Washington State, at least in your district?
Right. Well, it depends on the winter for sure. So the more snow we get, the higher the hazard's going to be. So yeah, we do have a lot of avalanche danger or potential danger on Highway 2 corridor from Leavenworth to Scenic on the west side. And then North Cascades is our other area that we maintain during the fall before we close it, and then in the spring once we open it until the avalanche hazard is gone, is melted out. So it can be stressful. It just depends on the amount of snow we get. So
I was going to say the process of avalanche control is highly technical, isn't it?
Can be. So we use a variety of tools, surplus military artillery. I think a lot of your viewers probably heard about the M60 tanks we had
the old tank up
for
there.
years. Yeah, and we've gotten rid of those. They just outlived their usefulness, and now we use some surplus artillery, the M101 howitzer. And so we're working our way out of that in the next few years. And so, but we use a variety of other tools, including passive control, which is a way of controlling any slide activity on a particular path without actively controlling it. So if an avalanche occurs, then we've built a diversion dam or a wall to catch the debris and keep it off the highway. So
I know that there are some chutes that you especially monitor, especially up on Stevens Pass.
Right, on the west side, the Old Faithful section, so they've probably heard about the Old Faithful section. So that's by far the most active area that we have for avalanches in our region.
We're still early in the season. When is it most likely that you'll see avalanche conditions up there?
Typically, again, it depends on the weather and the amount of snow, but typically if we get about a 60-inch base at the summit of Stevens Pass, and that's when our chutes are pretty much full and all the anchors in the chutes are filled, and So after we get about 60-inch base at Stevens Pass, then we start really following it and being concerned.
How do you detect a slide movement, or at least areas that could be in danger? I'm thinking specifically about the new technologies with the use of drones and that type of thing. Are you employing that?
WSDOT is just starting to get into the drone business, but they're going to have their place as we move forward. And avalanche detection is kind of, visual is real good. We use a lot of visual. So if you have one avalanche's chance, you're going to have more avalanches. They tend to run in packs. So we use that, but it's mostly just the experience of a particular path in history. And then it's just our knowledge. I mean, my crew has got a lot of knowledge, and so depends on the weather, and we know the snowfall, and then if we're going to get a rain event or whatnot, then we kind of know what factors it takes to create an avalanche, so we keep track of that.
We want to get back to avalanche control, especially the public notification part of that, a little bit later in our program. First of all, I want to talk to Paul a little bit about road maintenance and snowplow activity, because I'm sure your crews have been out probably early today doing some of that work, haven't they?
Yes, we have crews on 24/7, so we're ready for any time the snow starts. We have crews out there already taking care of it, and they were busy last night. Yeah.
How do you coordinate that activity around the district?
So each district has their crews that work 24/7. We have crews on 7 days a week, and we just have enough people to take care of the road on a normal event, and then of course we call in people as we need more.
Okay, and the experience level of the guys you have working for you?
Got guys that have been doing it for 30 years, and we have guys it's their first year.
Yeah.
It's a mix every year, so there's always a matter of the experienced guys training the new people.
Well, you know, like in most things, I think I can put my trust in the snowplow drivers to do what they're doing. I have a little less trust in the motoring public, and I'm sure that there's some etiquette points that you'd like to get out to the traveling public on how best to negotiate these passes around, or even on our lower elevation roads when snowplows are working.
Yeah, so the guys really work hard to take care of the highway. They spend a lot of time and effort training and learning the roads so that they know what to do when the event happens. And I know the frustration a lot of people have is, you know, you're out in the 4-lane heading for Kashmir and the plows are going 15 miles an hour. Well, sometimes that's the safest speed for those trucks, and I know it's frustrating to be stuck behind them, but they're out there trying to make the road as safe as they can for everyone.
Well, it's a very dangerous job, I think, being a snowplow operator, isn't it?
There's a lot of hazards. There's a lot going on in the trucks, especially now that we have the wing plows, which is people try to pass on the right and don't realize that wing is out there because of the snow, the dust, you know, the blowing around behind the trucks. So it never pass on the right, please. It's not a good idea.
Have you ever been in a situation? Could you share any stories, any scare stories that you've been involved in?
So we've all had our near misses. We've you know, you see the car coming behind you, and I've had several of them where they went to pass, and then the snow coming off of the plow hit their windshield, and now they can't see, and now they're driving all over the road and have to stop, and so then I have to stop because now they're in front of me. So yeah, I've had several of those.
Yeah. Again, to start out the season, I know that your guys are out there applying the de-icer chemical on the roadways. You can see those ribbons along the roadway that mark those areas where you've been applying that chemical. What do you use as a de-icer substance right now?
So in the Wenatchee area, we're pretty much a salt program. Very little sand. We use a little bit of the calcium chloride, the liquid, and most of that we use it as a pre-wet to activate the salt as it comes out of the back of the trucks.
I know that there has been some public concerns expressed about the use of the chemical and its corrosive impacts on the car. Can you address that?
Not a whole lot. I can say that the salt does make the road safer, and I think there's a trade-off with that, but you know, as far as the DOT's policies and that, I mean, it's pretty well documented in, you know, in our websites and that for the corrosive nature of it.
But I guess the best advice for the motoring public, though, is to make sure that your car is clean, I guess, during the winter, and to to pay special attention to the undercarriage.
Yep.
And the wheels.
Yep. Pay for that coating, that extra coating when you go through the car wash, and also give a little space in the back so your car's not driving immediately into the pre-wet and the salt that's just been applied.
Okay. Anything else you can share with us about driving during the winter? For me, I know it's this time of the year when I'm constantly looking in my rearview mirror because people are, always following too close, it seems like.
Yeah, it's like you're going to hear it everywhere, and I would say the same thing as the guy. I've been doing this for 29 years, and I tell you the same thing is, be careful on your following distances. Don't pass the plows on the right.
Stay off the brakes.
Yeah, drive according to conditions. I mean, that's where we get most of our accidents is people over driving. The conditions, whether they can't see or the amount of snow that's on the road, and be prepared. You drive the right vehicle, have good tires in your car, have supplies in your car so you're prepared for anything that happens out there.
When we're talking about the right types of tires to have on the car, I believe that studs, of course, were effective, but they also wear on the roads.
Yep, and that's why we have a really clearly defined timeline of when we allow studs on our highways. We understand that they are a safety feature that a lot of people feel more comfortable using, and that's the goal is for people to travel safely, and that's why it's really November 1 to March 30th, and that's the timeline. We had an earlier winter event this year that dropped some snow, I think in late September, and people were immediately calling, oh, are we gonna advance the studs date? And that's probably not likely in any case.
Okay, I guess special exceptions can be made, though, for extreme weather conditions.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to address with you, Lauren, has to do with public notification, especially during the avalanche times of the year. I really have to credit the DOT for its use of social media and its apps for your smartphones that keep people advised.
Yeah, we are available on most of the social media platforms and try to have an active presence there. We also have that app, which is essentially all the information that you would get on social media or from the Gov Delivery listserv or that you would see on the website is going to be available on that app. And so we always encourage people to download that if you have a smartphone. Getting those notifications out helps the public make decisions about how they're going to travel. So they find themselves hopefully less likely to be trapped in winter conditions that they're not prepared for or they didn't see coming or waiting for some avalanche control to occur. We start in November a 24/7 coverage in our traffic management center as well. So those folks in there work with our teams that are on to make sure that that information is getting out even at night when I'm asleep and enjoying my sleep and everybody else is working hard. They are getting that information out and that will come. So really just suggesting if you have a smartphone or you're on social media, find WashDOT and we're really working to get the information out.
And you can sign on to get these well, every hour it seems like during the winter that you're updating the past reports and to tell us what the current weather and roadway conditions are. So it really is a help, I think, for the traveling public. I'll readdress the situation with you, Mike, heading up the avalanche operations. How effective have this been? Have you been able to see anything tangible from this new notification process?
Absolutely. So we try to do the majority of our control at night to limit the impact on the traveling public and just the less traffic. It's best for us too. So we'll try to do our control between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. So a lot of people got to get to the airport on the west side or have appointments on the west side. So and we have seen an impact. It's good to be able to notify those people that we're going to do avalanche control the next morning at 4 a.m. So it gives them a heads up that if they need to get to Seattle at a certain time, they can get before or wait till we're all done after and get over the pass. So absolutely, the notifications has been a good deal.
Early notification is critical at this time. Well, with the few minutes of time we have left over, is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Lauren, regarding winter operations and things the public should be?
Yeah, just again, I'll go back to the being prepared and to drive for conditions. Give some extra space between you and the car in front of you. Give a lot of extra space between you and the snowplow in front of you. A statistic that I was reading when I was boning up on winter conditions here for WashDOT was that between 2012 and 2017, half of the closures of Snoqualmie were not for avalanche control, but rather clearing accidents that occurred. And as Mike said and Paul, the conditions that people find themselves in, you got to drive for them, and I really want to get that word out so that you can get to the place safely, and that you're not that guy that's closing down Snoqualmie or Stevens Pass as we clear out the collision. And being prepared includes warm winter clothing. Sometimes we're in the TMC in that traffic management center, and you see someone getting out of their car to do something because it's snowing, and they're in shorts and flip-flops. You just
go prepared.
It's just, oh no.
That's right.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself and pack a blanket and anything else you might need in case you get stuck.
Absolutely, and make sure that your gas tank is full. If you're getting behind traffic or you do have to pause for a little while, make sure that your windshield wiper fluid tank is full. And if you are going to try to travel when conditions may require chains, make sure you know how to apply them to your vehicle.
Okay, great, good advice.
Yeah.
One final question. This will go to you, Paul. How do you snowplow a roundabout?
Those are definitely a challenge. The Wenatchee crew has specific trucks that they use for that have a shorter wheelbase, so you can make that total turn. And it takes several rounds and several trucks to get the roundabout and then all of the exits and entrances done.
Best advice, folks, just pack some patience this winter and you'll make it through okay. That does it for this edition of In Focus. I want to thank Lauren, Paul, and Mike for joining us here from the DOT.
Thanks, Steve.
58 minutes after the hour, we are back, and let's go ahead and take a look at that weather forecast one more time. If you're just joining us, we're going to have a winter storm watch that begins tomorrow and lasts through Friday for us. That's the Wenatchee Valley. For the east slopes of the Cascades, and this includes the Lake Wenatchee area, all the way to Leavenworth and Plain, you are under winter storm warning, which is a more serious situation. So basically what we have here is it's two storms, really, that's going to move through in two parts. The first wave is a slightly weaker wave, and that comes in later on tonight. We're going to have some snow right here in the Wenatchee Valley between 10 o'clock to about 4 in the morning, roughly. You'll wake up to a pretty slick Thursday morning commute. Now, it's Thursday. We're going to start out with snow in the morning. Then it's going to be a little bit of a rain-snow mix, and there is a distinct possibility Thursday and Thursday night that we could have a rain-snow, freezing rain mix. Kid you not, Thursday afternoon into Friday. Now, Friday, the next wave comes through. Yeah, it's packing a lot of moisture, but it's also packing quite a bit of warm air along with it. So you can see our high on Friday, 40 degrees. So yeah, everybody's going to get snow. It's all about elevation. Here on the valley floor in downtown Wenatchee, down along the river, a couple of inches, maybe 3 inches, maybe 3 inches. Other places, the East Wenatchee Bench, Fancher Heights, Pangbourne Airport, you could get 4, maybe even 5 inches of snow by the time this is all said and done by Thursday afternoon. But again, it's all going to go away because we're in for some rain and warm temperatures both Friday and into Saturday morning. So again, heaviest snow probably tonight into Thursday, and then a little bit of additional snow on Thursday into Thursday night, and then we calm down and cool off a little bit on Monday and Tuesday. So again, a little bit of light snow later on today, little bit of snow possible tonight. Thursday, yeah, it's going to snow. And Thursday night, we're going to get even some more snow. But the snow level is going to go from 1,400 feet to 3,900 feet. So there you go. And the passes are going to just get tons of snow. Just a heads up on that. And that's it. Have yourself a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.